Hello and welcome to What Map, the map review show for Cities Skylines. There are tens of thousands of maps in the workshop now, and so finding the right one for your next build is a huge task. So each day, Monday to Saturday, we'll review one, using our 5-star rating for aesthetics, detail and gameplay potential, awarding only the very best the coveted seal of approval. So join me, fellow Skylines explorers, as we venture to today's new land. Who am I? I'm BonBonB, and you are very, very welcome.
Come here now, girl.
Hello and welcome to Monday's What Map. Bonbon here, how are you doing? And I hope you had a really good weekend this weekend. Today we are going to go straight in at the deep end with an island map. As you can see, it's not bad. Very vanilla. Here's your start square. Okay, and what more can I tell you about it? Let's have a look at the Steam Workshop. And as I suggested, completely vanilla. And we will crack on and have a look at Kelinci A Toll. Now, I don't know if this is a deliberate spelling error, or just a play on words, or I don't know, whatever. Perhaps they just want us to pay to get onto the island. I don't know. Anyway, this map is quite nice. Love the high point with this map is the terraforming. We'll talk about the low points a little bit later on, but it's not bad. For vanilla, it's pretty damn good. Let's start down this end. We won't start right at the very end here because I don't want to spoil that for you. But first of all, we've got these islands. They are at a sensible elevation. I mean, we can get onto them. They're not uniform. We see so often uniform. Oh, we've got a drowned tree. Oh, you poor fella. Seaweed, probably that one. Yes. What was I going to say? Yeah. So normally see very uniform edges, like very soft, smooth, sloping beaches, or just a regular 1 unit high, perfect for docks kind of levels. A little bit of detailing there in the water. Nicely done. Got some nice detailing with the rocks along the edge on the inside, not on the outside. I'm liking that also. Over here we've got some on the outside, but not on the inside, and it's adding a bit of differentiation is a word for the day. I'm sure that didn't come out right. We've got some rock detailing here. The rocks are going into the sea, but the trees are generally, apart from that one fella that we saw earlier, the trees are generally staying on the land, which is good. Anyway, I'm liking this. The trees, obviously all vanilla, which is good and bad, because obviously they are not the prettiest of trees, but it does mean there's nothing to subscribe to. And the variation that they've used is excellent. Like here, what we got on the beach, we've got the palm trees. So we get into the hills, we've got these bushy type trees, and in between we've got a little bit of blending. That's all good. Let's look at these bushy trees. Are these the leafy tree set? I've got a feeling these are Pidalma's leafy trees, and if that's the case, then maybe there is something to subscribe to. I don't think those are vanilla. Okay, well, obviously, having already subscribed, they would appear. Got a log down there. Well done for putting some logs down. But yeah, so it's not entirely vanilla. I'm sure these are the leafy tree set. Hard to be sure. Or generic. I don't know. But I'm pretty sure they are not vanilla. Anyway, if we head on across the island, we've got to say like these long white beaches heading down to the sea on this side, and then we've got this volcano. Now, as volcanoes go, this is probably, and I say this with good authority, probably the best one I have seen. Okay, obviously an extinct volcano, but for me, I like this a lot. A hell of a lot. But this volcano is going to double up for me just to show you something. Now, you probably heard me moaning in the past about trees hanging onto the edge of cliffs, and I don't buy it. Well, I don't normally. Well, we'll come and have a look down here. Obviously we've got the trees leading up to the edge of the mountain, and we've got trees. This is a fairly smooth slope here. Got a little patch of green there that's sitting on. Here we've got a little patch, which indicating that, yeah, we can just about grab onto here. And these also. But then we've got nothing. We've got this one guy here. Once again, it's not hanging onto the edge of a cliff. It's just on a slope there. We've got a little group here, all hanging on to these little nooks and crannies. All makes perfect sense again. We've got anything down here? Nope, 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 nope. And then we've got like a little clustering going on here. Where there are flat areas, this is where the trees are getting a grip and clustering in. I mean, that is, I would say that is hanging onto the edge, but it's in a clustered group, which is telling me that I'm buying into it. What have we got over here? Oh, we've got another, we've got some more here. These are just on that little ledge there. Good tree placement again. There's one guy up here. A little cluster group there as well. It's just something that I normally will have a bit of a problem with, but we've got nothing like here. If I bring it to about this point here, the amount of times we would have seen trees just hanging onto the edge of that. That's almost a sheer face, and yet where you might get some sort of shrubbery or something like that hanging on the shrubbery, hanging onto the side there. Trees like this you wouldn't see, not hang on to the edge. Not normally, there's an exception to every rule, but not in this case. If we go around to the front of the front of the volcano, what would be the front of a volcano? I don't know. We've got a couple here. We've got this one guy here hanging on to the edge here, and once again, it's not a sheer drop. It's just hanging on to a little bit of a ledge. This guy's got a ledge of his own because he's a little lonely fella. And then we've got over here, these two guys are these. I'm just about buying into those ones, especially if he'd been down on that little ledge there. I would have been a little bit more inclined to believe it. But once again, they're just single solitary, just about hanging on for their life. I can just about get there. Not huge trees either though. They're quite on the small side, those ones. Yeah, I'm a fan. I am a fan of the tree placement on this map, apart from the wander around tree which I discovered. Right, well, now the problem now is, as there's not really much more to explore and discover, why don't we go and have an asset review, and when we come back we'll have a look at the other little bits of detail about this map. But that volcano, I like that muchly. Right, and today's asset review is this modular hedge maze. Well, when I say modular, it's just a singular one, and it's created by some bloke called BonBonB. I have no idea who they are or what they're doing, making assets. For this particular hedge maze, it's 8x4. You can wander in, you can get lost, you can wander back out. Now that's basically everything there is to say about this, apart from it's a modular hedge maze, part of a set of 30 that this BonBonB geezer has made, and you can be creative and push them together. And if you follow the general instructions like that, you can push them all together and make quite a large hedge maze, almost unlimited in scope actually. Now, like I say, I've been a little creative and done a little bit of detailing because look, it's my hedge maze. But yeah, you can put them together. They're all 8x4, and if you do that, look, we've got a little visitor already. Too scared to go in, are you? Maybe. But yeah, what you can do is whichever angle you put them all together, so long as the edges match up, like here, we've got two hedge mazes that match up there. As long as the holes in the wall on the sides match up, you can actually navigate your way right the way through the maze. Let's follow the maze through, shall we, just for a bit of fun. We'll go around there, and then through up this way, then up here, around the back of this tree, and the U-turn and back and through here. And I think if we go around the back of this tree and then up the side there, and then we do a little zigzag this way and through to here. Then round the back of this tree there's a gap there. We'll go right the way up to the wall and up to the outside, and then we'll do a little zigzag backwards and forwards here, and along and back and in, and all the way up to this little section here. I think what we'll do is now we'll cut in and across and around this tree here and through, and then we'll do a little ziggy zag here. I think now we've got to go, we could go, then we'll go that way. I think it's that way, up this way and along here, and oh no, it's a dead end that way. We'll come back. How about going this way? Ah, here we go, up here past this tree, and yeah, behind that tree there. Completely lost. Ah, zigzag here will take us through to here, straight up, take a left, up, and we're through and out. See, like I say, navigable no matter what you do. So there we go, that's the modular hedge maze, all 30 units of them. Subscribe to them all, watch the tutorial which was up on yesterday, and enjoy, have a great time building hedge mazes in your city. So that was Modular Hedge Maze by BonBonB. Oh, who's that fella? And that's today's asset of the day. Okay, so we are back to Kelinci A Toll by question mark, and we'll have a look at shipping routes. We've not done that yet. Right, now here's one of my problems. We go into this and click that one there. Right, so we've got this route that comes across here. Obviously no bridges to navigate, which is great. Managed to avoid all of the sandbanks, etc., going through off to the fog that way. If we come back to where it joins up here, and this one goes off to there, which is great. Okay, avoids all the sandbanks. But what I would like to have seen, if you wanted to have, let me come back out of here, so we know that, but you know where they go now, don't you? Okay, don't need to show you again. Let me come back into free cam. Right, so if you wanted to put your docks along this edge here, that's no problem at all. And if you wanted to put your docks along this edge here, that's no problem at all. However, what I would have liked for the option to put your docks somewhere within the atoll. One of these edges would have been nice as an option, and we would have needed a shipping route coming off of this main line, coming through into here, because if you pop in your docks, say there, you're going to have a straight line, but it's going to be going through these sandbanks, and it could cause problems. So yes, I would have liked to have seen that. Let's now have a look at, what's the other thing we look at? Oh yes, the water flow. Right, well, first of all, before we go into water flow, let's go and have a look at the only flowing water we've got, which is this river. Good idea, let's look at the river. Now, first of all, water is emerging from this cluster of rocks, kind of buy into it, kind of. Comes down, fairly nicely detailed, bit there, into this pool, and then from the pool it keeps flowing down into some nice detailed areas along there, into the atoll itself. Now that is the only obviously moving water, so you're going to put your sewage outlet into that probably. Well, what we'll do now is we will now have a look at that water movement, which is that button there, and we've got this right. So yeah, you've got the arrows, obviously we can see that. When it gets out here, there it virtually stops. If we come right down there, see how close we are? It's virtually stopping, which means that the sewage ain't going to go very far. And if it does go any sort of distance, it's pretty much entirely engulfed, or encapsulated with landmass all the way around the outside and sandbanks. That's not a great thing. However, there is a possibility that there is a drain somewhere, because if we come in close, there is water flow around this peninsula here coming into the atoll. If we come over to this side, there is water flow coming into the atoll from this direction as well. So unless there is any outflow here, but that's all coming in as well, water seems to be pushing into the atoll, but I can't find anywhere in here a drain. So we are looking at what looks like going to be a very stinky, sewage laden water basin, which it ain't a great thing, is it? Right, now detailing, the only other thing I really wanted to have a look at with this map, there are some outlying tiny islands by the looks of it out in the fog. I'm not sure if they're under the surface of the water. I think they might be under the surface of the water. I did go into Cloud and Fog Toggler and disable the edge fog, but for some reason it's not working, and I've never had that before, so I don't know if I need to uninstall and reinstall or something. But anyway, I can't get rid of the edge fog at the moment for you guys. I apologise for that. The final little bit of detailing I want to show you is where we started the show on this peninsula here, but I deliberately didn't show you the very end because we've got the essential lighthouse. Now, location, absolutely buy into that. Location, yes, couldn't agree more. Probably I did it possibly here maybe, but for me, yeah, that's as good a place as any. Let's get a lighthouse down there. However, there is a bit of a fail for me here. First of all, we've got the stepping stones, which are just above water level. So you could get to that, but how do you get onto the stepping stones? Well, maybe like rowing boats. You can moor your rowing boat up there. What I would like to have seen is one of these rocks, or maybe a couple of them, just snuggling up to the end of that. Shall we do that? I'm not sure it's going to work, but we'll have a go, shall we? So if we get this, and we'll give that a little spin, little spinneroony. So maybe something like that one there, and maybe we can get, I don't know, what, him. Shall we bring him over? And where are we? It's not going to let me put it underwater. Oh, put the anarchy on maybe. That might help. It's oh, that's in the wrong place altogether. But yes, sort of like this, and then maybe give that a spin as well. Shall we grab another one? Oopsie, I dropped it. Bring it up. Oh, back out of that, come out of that. So maybe something like that, and that was like a 1 second job really. Obviously we'd want to move those across a little bit more. I think something like that would have been a better trick, and obviously dropping the lighthouse a little bit so it's not quite so high up, but I'm not going to do that now. But anyway, that would be my minor grumble with the lighthouse. So shall we find a spot? Shall we find a spot right above the volcano, looking that way maybe? How about there? That's all right, isn't it? I'll go with that. Right, so aesthetically, I like this. I do like it. Yes, it's very vanilla, and I was on the brink of giving this a 5. But the one thing I wasn't sold on entirely, I think the river could have been a little bit more than it is. So based on that, I'm going to give it a very solid 4 out of 5 for aesthetics. For detailing, I love the trees on this map. I really think it's an excellent job, well done. However, That lighthouse is a little bit of a fail. Plus, it just feels it lacks a little bit of finesse here and there. So I'm so close to giving it a 4, but it doesn't quite justify the 4th star. I'm gonna give it a very high-ended 3, but that's a very good 3, that one. Finally, gameplay potential. There are some possible issues. Like I say, that water could be a problem. Shipping route is a little bit of a frustration. Not a huge amount of build playing, but it's not too bad at all. I would say an eminently playable map, but could have been more so. I'm going to give that a solid 3 out of 5. So that's a Kelinci A Toll by ? And that is Monday's map. Well, that'll be it for today. Thanks for watching, commenting, liking and subscribing. Don't forget to join me tomorrow for another map in the What Map series, and tonight at 5 o'clock UK time for the next in What theme. Going to be some slight changes tonight, but I'm hoping you've seen the special announcement about the slight change to the What theme show. Well, that's it. Enjoy, have a great day, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye now.